attorneys at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
If you're not listening to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
That's one reason, by the way, why I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a historically informed conversation of depth and detail.
Be sure to tune in to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want. And it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. Got some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach it till I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 of the daytime, right at drive time, broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California, streaming live on the YouTube page as we speak. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about. First on the scene, so fresh and so clean, let's check in with the queen, know what I mean? Hit it, Eddie, come on, let's go.
She's your
Rap step to me. You want to kiss so love the king, yo. You know the outcome. Come on, Robin.
That was good.
It was fire.
Yo, straight fire.
I'm just going to put it on out there. You go on and lead the charge. How fire was this morning?
This morning was, I would describe it as iconic.
I think that is a great word to use.
Where else can you go but KBLA Talk 1580 and even see, because we were streaming live, Tavis Smiley.
Come on.
Okay, let's start with that. Interviewing your boy.
Come on.
Your icon.
Yes.
Legendary.
Right there.
Big Daddy Kane.
Woo.
Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Another one. Let's not sleep on it. Then you got these amazing actors who are Alan Payne. You've got Gary Dourdan and then Flex Alexander, of course. It was literally amazing in this building today.
It was. The energy in the room was dang near palpable. It was so great.
Ooh, good word.
And
good
I was
word.
just sitting there. Look, I was like, my hero is right there. Now, Tavis Smiley's my hero, too. So literally right there, two of my heroes. All right? And then, look, we're going to talk about it a little bit later. Don't sleep on Tretch either, man. I was telling Miles this morning, I said, listen, I mean, Kane's my dude, Cube's my dude, y'all know that. I'm a big Tretch cat, too, and I didn't get the opportunity to tell him.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, man, that was really special. Again, New Jack City stage play is right here in Los Angeles, January 20th through the 22nd at the Orpheum Theater. And that's why these men, these icons were in the building, you know, and so that was it was amazing to watch and just kind of be there. We were filming and talking and taking pictures and all that stuff. So it was really, really amazing.
It was just great. And somebody else came through, looked kind of casually dressed for the first time. I was a little surprised. I was like, you got sweats on. You got sweats on, Mr. Bucci. Alongside Queen Robin is a man so tall. So tall. He takes his showers at Niagara Falls. Come on now. Don't you leave me out of my mouth.
Hilarious.
Multi-talented, multi-hyphenate, motivational speaker, property owner, coach, professional athlete, entrepreneur, and was popping his collar with Alan Payne today. Talk about, do you still got that spot? Yeah, you need to come on through. I'll feed the whole family. Or what did you say? What did you tell me?
That was some old Century Club days, man. Early 90s, Alan used to be in the spot. It's my boy.
Oh, excuse me. Let's give love to Daniel Griffin back in the spot. You know you was flossing today. You know that, right?
Oh, man. It's in our blood in L.A., man. But we do it. You got to do it on the low, man.
Is Alan Payne from L.A.?
No, he's from New York.
Okay.
He's from New York. But, he lived out here. I think he's still out here.
Yeah. I was a little surprised how tall Flex is. How tall is
He's at 6'4", I believe.
Yeah, he's a big cat.
Yeah, he's really tall.
Wow, really, really big. But the room, oh my God.
I told him, I said, listen, as soon as I saw him, I said, I'm trying to get your wife in here. And he was like, you got to tell her you told me. So I hit Shanice up. We've been talking and we've been trying to figure it out when we can get her in here. But she's so busy. But this time I was like, I took a picture and I was just like, your husband told me to tell you.
And Flex was joking
That's
around.
my girl, though. She'll make it. She'll make it.
He was saying that everybody was on him saying, you got Shanice, we're jealous. And he ain't kidding.
Right. No.
A lot of us were like, you got Shanice, man.
Yeah. I'm sure they equally got it, though. Let's keep it real. Flex was that dude. Flex is still that guy, but yeah.
Sex symbol back in the day?
I don't know if he was on Right On Magazine like Stoney Jackson, but he was big.
Did you really just go
I
Stoney
had to go
Jackson?
Stoney because you said Stoney Jackson was the man.
I bet you don't know who Stoney Jackson is.
I don't.
Oh, White Shadow. Jerry Curl. You need to Google him.
He had one of the tightest Jerry curls. I'm telling you, back in the day.
I do not remember. I do not know.
Big time. But needless to say, how you doing, by the way?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, man. I had, stopped by jamming on the hill over here on Hilltop last night. Felt a little eclectic vibe, like I was in D.C. at Bus Boys and Poets or something. It was a nice vibe, man.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So jamming on the hill was like a music. It was a live music last night from 6 to 9 at Hilltop Cafe over here.
Is it a live band?
It was a live band performing in
Not
Hilltop.
DJ, a band.
Yeah, live band. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, live band, man, inside Hilltop Cafe, like, little eclectic spot. It was nice.
What kind of music?
Man, it was like R&B. Yeah, man, a little jazzy, yeah.
Was it a singer or only instruments?
No, a singer, too. A couple of singers, yeah. Okay. And that's that vibe that we used to have back in the day here in L.A., polyester players and all that stuff. So it's starting to come back, man. You know what I mean? A little D.C., a little Philly, a little Chicago, a little New York.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, they do that right there at the district as well.
They do. Oh, yeah.
They do,
yeah.
they do
L.
live
Young,
music there.
Yeah, shout out to L. Young. He'll be there Sunday.
Who is that young lady that sings lead at that band that plays at the district? I was there about a month ago, and she burned the room up. It was fire.
It might be Asia, maybe G-Max.
Little queen with a short haircut.
Yeah, that's G. Yeah, it's Asia.
Man, she was amazing.
So the guy on the guitar was part of the Polyester Players, which was probably the top live music band in the early 90s out here.
I think you're absolutely right because they introduced him saying he was the legendary.
Yeah, G-Mac. Yeah.
They were phenomenal. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So you had some live. I want to go out there. You got to take me out there.
I'll tell you when. Let's meet up there.
If we can get to the room, because I know you're going to introduce yourself.
Yeah, and you recycle black
people.
dollars, too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Black owned.
I try. It's a beautiful thing. But today was magnificent fire, okay? For those unaware, our own Tavis Smiley brought in the entire cast of the New Jack City stage play for a conversation this morning, and it was everything. Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Flex, Gary Dordan, Alan Payne, and, of course, Big Daddy Kane. Let me tell you what tripped me out about this morning. In his usual masterful way, Tavis found a way to not only find out about the inner workings of the stage play, and more on that in a few, by the way, but he also managed to get in depth with 5 different kings in 1 hour's time. Did you notice how he did that?
I literally sat back watching. I'm like, this is how you do it. When you have a group that large and to manage and control the situation, all while, first of all, Tavis needs his props. He was interviewing in not the studio. He was interviewing in the conference room where that's not set up with, the timer and all the things that we have here to kind of keep us regulated. He's doing that, managing his time, managing 5 different guys at a time. I mean, it was absolutely masterful.
Yeah.
I keep learning every time I watch him do something that is, groundbreaking, and we have an opportunity to see it here right in front of us. I keep learning, like, wow, so that's how you do it. Huh?
I've been doing radio for 20 years, and I learn every single time I hear him.
Mm-hmm. No, he's
still
phenomenal.
Learning. He's the master. And did you notice when somebody would speak out of turn, he would go, look at Alan Payne speaking out of turn. We're going to come back to you.
Absolutely.
Right back to the conversation.
Absolutely.
And remember it after the commercial.
Yes. He's
a monster this morning.
He's literally the GOAT. And if you want to see that interview, it's up right now on YouTube. So we streamed live, of course. Obviously, we're going to have some footage on Instagram, socials as well. But definitely check out that YouTube. It is really good.
It's really, really good. Another great part was, of course, Big Daddy Kane. Okay, listen, y'all. I got my moment with Kane. Tavis pretty much gave me my childhood wish this morning without even knowing it. I've been chasing that cat for 30 years, and I was able to shake his hand and hug him, and Robin captured on camera when we hugged, and thank you for doing that, by the way. And what did he say to me? Go on, tell the world what he said to me as soon as I hugged him.
I didn't hear it.
Did he say, I know who you are? Did he say that?
I don't know.
You're supposed to.
I didn't hear. I was just capturing the moment. I was capturing the moment.
He needs a bad girl right now.
Why are you doing that to me right now?
Why you doing that? Co-sign.
It's on camera. What
he said that.
Oh, really?
I don't know. He said that. That's what I'm trying to be.
See, that's my girl.
That's big time.
See, he did say that, by the way.
Big time.
But we've been exchanging pleasantries on social media for a little while. That's where he knows me from. So he gave me his phone number. Been text messaging, you know what I'm saying? He's coming on the show, did a little promo for me and Robin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was cool.
I was peeing the whole time. Pee running down my leg the entire time.
That is not okay.
I'm just saying. Y'all might see it on video.
Don't tell him that.
I'm just saying. Sniff, sniff.
He's gonna rescend his
he might get
offer
blocked.
to come in here.
You might get blocked, boss.
Y'all don't give him no ideas now. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a regret too. I wanted to look Tretch in the face and go, thank you, man. Because I know Kane was getting all the love and everything. And I noticed Tretch in the corner over there just really silent and just sitting there to himself. Tretch is a monster.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Tretch is a legendary monster.
Oh yeah.
You know? And I think being next to Big Daddy, that's Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
One of the top 5 MCs of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you hear Tavis say that this morning, Daniel? Huh? Did you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying. Tavis thinks so too. I'm just saying.
No, he's good, man.
No, he's not good. He's one of the all-time greats.
But let me tell you something about Tretch and Kane.
Yeah.
Those guys can act.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what's the movie Kane was in? The Cowboy Posse. And, and Tretch, you already know his movies.
I
Jason's
had forgotten
lyrics.
I've forgotten they were in Jason's lyrics.
He was really good in Jason's. That was because you remember my love for Jada Pinkett. So Jason's Lyric was one of my favorite movies, and he was so good in that film. It was really good. And they had a great discussion about acting rappers turned actors, and how people sometimes don't give them their props for that. And it's just like, it's I hate the sound of that, because we can all be great at certain things, multiple things, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? So just because you are killing it as an actor, or as a rapper, doesn't mean that you don't have the same skill set. And as a matter of fact, you probably have more expression, creativity to express as an actor. So yeah, they're showing that too.
It was definitely a morning of all mornings. I enjoyed every single minute of it.
Yeah, so did I. It was great.
We getting Kane on the show.
That's big time. If you pull that off, that's good.
No, that's my fire. We're texting, buddy.
That's fine.
That's my dude. That's my
fire if you pull that off. Yeah.
1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we will tell you how you can join us tomorrow at the New Jack City stage play. And a whole bunch of topics are bubbling. And I also brought the next 10 artists on Billboard and Vibe magazine's 50 greatest rappers of all time. We will run through the list once again. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
The movie moved you, but the stage play will blow you away. It's Jacarius Johnson's New Jack City, live on stage.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
They were at the top of their game, but when loyalty and trust takes a hit.
DMB, man, we all we got.
So does survival.
Your $5 ass down before I make change.
Starring Big Daddy Kane, Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Flex Alexander, the original G Money, Alan Payne, and Gary Dordan. January 20th through 22nd at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Listen, you don't need to fix your skin. You need to find what works for your skin. So get to know all your skincare options at Ulta Beauty's Love Your Skin event happening now. Discover daily beauty steals of 50% off faves like Tula, Osea, and Megley's Cosmetics. Plus, find weekly wellness deals of 30% off brands like Truly, Love Wellness, and Foria. You're in your skin 24/7. Make it a place you love to be. Hurry, this event ends January 21st. Shop in-store, online, or try curbside pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580, putting the spotlight on culture and community. The Rodney King Foundation works in the community to promote positive race relations and achieve social justice. The foundation provides advocacy, educational scholarships, and the powerful Walk in Love initiative. The Rodney King Foundation seeks a world of hope, tolerance, and social justice, where divisiveness has been overcome and all people live together peacefully and harmoniously. Executive Director, Founder Laura King is striving to enhance the community's self-esteem, health, social services, and social justice locally and worldwide. The foundation is dedicated to continuing the message of Laura's father, the great Rodney King, to promote peace and hashtag get along. For more information, please visit rodneyking.org or call 626-541-2907. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello. Is this thing on? How y'all doing? Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Still just sitting back thinking about this morning with these Kings being up in here. But speaking of that and that play, by the way, we want to sound the alarm once again. KBLA Talk 1580 is hooking up with Danny Mo Show this week, giving away tickets to the New Jack City stage play coming to the Orpheum Theater right here in the city of Los Angeles this coming weekend, starring Alan Payne, Big Daddy Kane, Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Gary Dordan, and Flex Alexander. You can get your tickets right now at Ticketmaster or hit up the box office at the Orpheum Theater ASAP, or you can cop some tickets from me and Robin right now. We're taking a few listeners with us to the show tomorrow. And you got a chance to ride with us for free. My favorite F word in the business. All right, second best. Here's what you... What?
Oh, my goodness.
Here's what you need to do. Slide in our DMs right now. At Robin Ayers, at Danny Mo Show, at KBLA 1580, excuse me. And follow us, too. That'd be fantastic. Tell us why you want to go. And we're randomly selecting a few. And y'all will be riding with us tomorrow. Riding in Robin's car.
You lying?
I know I'm lying to you. That mug, I was in there the other day. She took me to my car, and that mug was spotless. Spotless. You ain't putting nobody in there. I'm surprised your kids can ride in there.
Barely. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So definitely do it right now. At Robin Ayers, at Danny Mo Show, at KBLA 1580, and we will randomly select. And you just might be riding with us, okay? And I also want to let you guys know that we are still chasing the story of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis banning AP African American Studies. Still gathering that information. And it will probably be the lead story tomorrow on the Danny Mo Show. But right now, like how we get down on this show, we always like to get all the information first and bring it to you. So tomorrow, lead story on the Danny Mo Show, that dumb, idiotic governor over in Florida, Ron DeSantis. We're going to talk about him banning African-American studies, which I cannot believe.
Well, I can. That's the thing. I can.
Wow.
It's like unreal, but at the same time, look at who we're dealing with.
He said they are going to be the anti-woke state. He is proving it in real time.
Yep.
But speaking of classic hip-hop being in the building today. As you all know, last week I unveiled Billboard and Vibe magazine's ranking of the 50 greatest rappers of all time in honor of hip-hop's 50th anniversary. And last week I gave you the first 10, 50 to 41. Rick Ross, Rev Run, Melly Mel, MC Lyte, Jadakiss, Ice-T, Queen Latifah, Bun B, Redman, E40 at 41. Okay? Now it's time for number 40 through 31. Y'all ready?
Okay.
Number 40, Dr. Dre. And this ranking is interesting because now I really need to see the criteria for the list. Because we know Dre's the greatest producer of all time. Rapper? And he wasn't even writing that stuff?
Right. That was the thing.
So how was he number 40 on the list? And even if he wrote it all, you wouldn't have been number 40 on the list, would you?
Right. I know we talked a little bit about this before. I need to see the entire list. I almost feel like once I see the entire list, I can re-rank.
They're doing it a week at a time on purpose.
I know, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a conversation piece, that's for sure, So I don't know if he deserves 40, though.
Look, if you're going 50 greatest rappers, Dre shouldn't be on this list at all. Is that fair, Daniel?
I wouldn't say that because we don't know the totality of the who's coming up with this list. We don't know the entire list. I mean, until we figure that out, we won't know, right?
But Danny's point is that even if we knew all 40, that you're saying because he wasn't writing his lyrics, he doesn't belong on the 50 at all.
Correct. No, we're not going to get into that because there's a lot of ghostwriters. And a lot of stuff from back in the day wasn't revealed because people really didn't know about ghostwriting at the time. And it was like taboo. So,
and some would say take Drake off that list. Yeah. Some would take Kanye off that list.
Yeah, you can't say if they didn't write it that they can't get credit for the performance because you still got to perform it. You still got to have the swag. You still got to have that energy. And you still got to flow.
But you still wouldn't call Dr. Dre a rapper in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's tough, man, because what is he doing there?
You always think Dre is a producer. You always do.
Yeah.
When you think Dr. Dre, you think production. You don't think Dr. Dre is a really? MC.
All producers don't get platinum selling albums when they're in the video and they're on the mic.
All up in the video.
Yeah, yes, you may think of Dr. Dre as one of the greatest producers, and in your case, you say the greatest producer of all time. And that I agree with, but since we've known Dre for real, like in the public eye, he's been rapping.
Mm-hmm.
So you do think of him as a rapper.
Not
it's
the whole
just
time. That NWA, Dre wasn't on that mic.
I mean, just a little bit.
He was barely on that mic.
Barely, but you knew him to touch the mic. You know what I'm saying? In a group of rappers.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of knew him as that, even though we know his beginning of his career. It just wasn't in the media. It wasn't in the limelight.
That's fair.
So
that's fair. All right, number 40 was Dr. Dre. Number 39, Ludacris. That's too low for Luda.
That is low for Luda.
I've been saying for years that there are two MCs in hip-hop history that always dominate a feature. M and Luda. Luda got hits.
Yeah, he does.
Luda got hits.
And I always think, too, who sounds like this artist?
Right.
Nobody sounds like. You can tell him the moment he hits the mic. You can tell his voice.
Top 20?
I don't know.
Is that too high? See, I think 39's too low. 20's probably too high. But if you had
of all time, yeah, I think 20 is too high.
But 39's too low.
Yeah.
Daniel?
Yeah. Is it? I need to see.
Is
it? Man, it's a lot of rappers, man.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
We're just having a conversation.
That's
yeah.
tough.
Marcus Atkins says rapping is about flow skills than writing lyrics.
So I go back to the Dr. Dre question. Why is he there?
You got platinum selling albums, songs.
Yeah, because Marcus is saying it's the flow that got him on that list, not the writing that got him on the list.
Andy, chime in. Come on.
It's simple. He raps.
he's a successful rapper. Is that all we're gonna go by? Is that the criteria?
What I'm saying is just the act of him rapping. That's what they're not considering ghostwriting. They're not talking about the writing. They're not talking about the producer. It's the fact that he's a rapper. If you're not the type of person to open up a CD and look at the credits or whatnot, you're just gonna think he's a rapper.
That's true.
You're not gonna see that, oh, this person actually wrote the record. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know.
We don't do that with R&B music.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you really go back and look at all the R&B artists from the 80s and 90s and start seeing who wrote all this stuff, you're gonna be like, man, hardly any of them wrote their stuff.
And to this day, I mean, well, a lot more people are writing, but I'm just saying you have so many writers on songs, and oftentimes as an artist, and you know that you have the ability and the power to put other artists on, you might just be like, okay, I'm gonna add this word, and now all of a sudden you could, add your name to the list of writers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. We don't really attack R&B artists the same way. You get what I'm saying?
Who was the artist that went after Beyonce recently? Was that Adele?
No, Adele doesn't go after Beyonce.
Who made the comment that she had fit? No,
it was
Diane Warren, wasn't it? It was Diane.
Well, it stemmed. Well, do you mean from Khalees? Because Khalees made this whole ordeal about Beyonce as well.
No, Diane Warren tweeted something saying how many different writers were on Beyonce's song.
Yeah.
And I guess it was like 20 different ones.
It was 20 plus writers on this
and
song.
She's like, I do this by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm the greatest writer of all time.
Yeah, and she had to come back and apologize for what she said because she says that she didn't mean it that way, but she said it. She said it.
But is she right? She been making them hits by herself.
I mean, which is why she is Diane Warren.
Yeah, she's an anomaly for sure.
Yeah.
1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, this next person, I don't think should be on the list. And definitely shouldn't be ahead of Ludacris and Dr. Dre. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden is visiting California to survey areas damaged by severe storms. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell addressed reporters while en route to the state.
Just a little bit of background, too. California has really experienced some unprecedented storms. 9 atmospheric rivers that have gone through since right before the new year.
The storms dropped record amounts of rain on the West Coast. And in New York City, East Harlem is getting $10 million for revitalization efforts. Governor Hochul says neighborhood leaders will have to decide what to do with the funds, but plans could include a transit hub station at East 125th Street when the extension on the 2nd Avenue subway into Harlem is complete. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
In Highland Park, southbound 110 between Avenue 43 and Avenue 26. We've got the right lane blocked off until 3 o'clock this afternoon. In La Canada, Flint Ridge, Angeles Crest Highway is closed between Park Canyon and Big Pines Highway, and between the 210 and Upper Big Tahunga Canyon, you can get through if you have snow chains or four-wheel drive. In Hollywood, Hollywood Boulevard closed between Orange Drive and Highland Avenue for a special event. In Castaic, northbound 5 between Templin Highway and the Castaic Brake Check area, we have the 2 right lanes closed to repair damages.
Berries on a budget are bursting into Whole Foods Market. A pint of blueberries is just $3.41 with Prime through January 24th. Get in on the super sweet juiciness before it's gone. While supplies last. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron James could become the NBA's all-time scoring leader before the All-Star break. Since turning 38 on December 30th, LeBron is averaging 36.4 points per game. He's 284 points shy of passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time total of 38,387. LeBron's overall season average is 29.8. If he maintains that pace, he could be in position to pass Kareem in the Lakers' February 7th home game against Oklahoma Oklahoma City. Interesting game tonight for UCLA's men's basketball team. The Bruins, ranked 5th in the country, are at Arizona State. Tip-off is 7:30 on Fox Sports 1. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call on me, your MVP.
If you're not listening to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
That's one reason, by the way, why I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a historically informed conversation of depth and detail.
Be sure to tune in to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with one of the panelists, the owner of Kids Love. Take a listen.
So Kids Love, KIDSLUV, is a first-to-market zero-sugar, vitamin-enhanced functional beverage for kids.
So the zero sugar is really important because if not, the sugar gets on the teeth, it can cause cavities. So as a mom, I love this vitamins and hydration in one. Tell us what's happening here with Chase Bank today.
So I would say, I think what Chase is trying to do is create a community actually for entrepreneurs, a place where people can go. They have the space to do it. It's a beautiful space. And to be able to have these conversations. There are so many benefits to being a women-owned and certified business, from a standpoint of getting into stores, not paying the slotting fees of what it takes to be in stores. So I think Chase is trying to bring awareness to a lot of the things that people just don't know about, that not only the bank can help, but outside of the bank, their relationships can help create.
That's beautiful. And I know, this is how we build equity in communities of color, is kind of spreading that information and that knowledge. So thank you for being here today and doing your part and letting these women know that it is possible.
For KBLA 1580, I'm Maisha Cairo in the community with Chase.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Southside.
I got so many felonies, I might can't never go to Canada, but Drake said he gon' put some screens, so let me check my calendar. I just popped me one of them whatchamacallits and it boosted my stamina. Now I'm on the banister, guess I just East Atlanta. And I already dropped Tarantula. Challenger, me ain't got no manners, bruh. What's the manners? I keep throwing rubber bandits up. Pull your panties hands up, cause you like a granny. You're just an amateur. Petite Philippe gon' make this cricket. Just try throw the book at me. I look like $500,000 worth of. She look at me, but you ain't got a with me, my. But you stuck with me. But how you call the cops on me, my. You grew up with me.
I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk, but I'm both right now. Got me talking about my life. I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk, but I'm both right now. I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk, but I'm both.
You were
right
checking out the
now.
Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580, and Andy is stealing my thunder right now. Are you looking at the list right now? Is that what you're doing? Come on, man. You're supposed to let me unveil it and surprise everybody. You gonna take my... They know who that is. And there is no way that cat should be above Ludacris on this list, and that is crazy to me. Oh, my God. Right now, I want to know what you think, too. Right now, we're in the middle of, as you guys know, Vibe Magazine and Billboard Magazine have constructed a list of the 50 greatest hip-hop artists of all time in honor of hip-hop being 50 years old on its anniversary. And we are up to number 38. Look, number 40 was Dr. Dre. Number 39 was Ludacris. And number 38, Gucci Mane.
Blasphemy.
Above Ludacris.
They need to throw this list away.
That was the one I said I can't take it seriously.
At all.
Gucci on the list.
You don't think about bars when you think about Gucci.
Can you even think about hits?
He got some hits. But
2 or 3. He ain't got bars. He got a few hits. I don't want to put him down because, you know, he's doing his thing out there.
You know what it is? This generation.
Yeah.
They hold Gucci Mane in high regards.
I've noticed that. He's made an entire career off of that.
Yeah.
And plus the reality show, and he went to prison. How long did he go to jail for? He did some years.
He did.
Then he got out, and his wife got him on, you know.
Yeah.
Glossed him up a little bit.
When you think about artists like the Migos, Chief Keef, Lil Durk, they're kind of like Gucci Mane babies.
Right.
Offspring, so to speak. So
right.
That's probably the reason. So there's probably somebody in that boardroom that represents this generation and argue tough for Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane ain't 25 years old, man.
You're right. I'm with you. But you know what though? When you I know you're not going to use the show Versus as a barometer.
Right.
But he was like the highly viewed Versus, him and Jeezy.
I have no idea why. That's not even a battle.
Well, it's a lot of street stuff that happened between the two individuals that, you know, a lot of people were intrigued by.
Yeah, I guess, because Gucci was throwing shade in that thing.
Absolutely. He definitely dissed his homie who's dead.
Wow. Thank you, sir. What do you think? I mean, do you even rock with Gucci, man?
No, seriously. No, seriously.
You gonna tell me this your
no,
cousin
no,
or something?
I'm just telling you. I mean, it's like having a premium fish, and then you have tilapia. I mean, once you eat the best fish in the world, then you say that tilapia good though, huh? I mean, come on, man. It depends on your palate. I mean, I'm old school. I was there when hip hop first evolved, and you telling me, I mean, I'm not knocking these guys, you know, but it's just hard, you know. Yeah.
So when I come to you and I say, what does a rapper have to possess in order for you to qualify him as a genuine MC? Like, what's your criteria? Where do you start with?
I'm longevity.
Okay.
I'm longevity. You know, I'm about lyrics. I'm about flow.
I love how you put lyrics number 2.
Well, I mean, obviously lyrics. I mean, I'm not really going in order. Obviously, lyrics is number 1, but I'm about, you know, longevity as well. Right, and audience, right? Just because you sell don't mean you're great, because we know they used to payola and all this other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we know who's legitimate, because if that's the case, no knock to Vanilla Ice,
right?
But he was number 1,
first number 1 single of all time.
Yeah,
hip-hop.
so we're not gonna say Vanilla Ice versus LL. We know.
The only reason I push back against you saying longevity is because Biggie only had 2 albums now, and Pac only had 4. So,
when I say longevity, I don't mean in terms of your career. I mean in terms of being relevant. Like, we're still talking about.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Andy,
I always wonder, you know, when people say lyrics, what are you referring to? You know, are you referring to the complexity of the rhymes? Because take an artist, Tupac, for example.
Yeah.
you know, his rhyme scheme is nowhere near Biggie Smalls, right?
Correct.
We talk about rhymes,
right?
Rhymes, not lyrics, but rhymes,
right?
But the substance of Tupac's message and his lyrics are very much so profound.
Yeah.
So when we talk about lyrics, what are we talking about?
That's been the age-old question, right?
That makes Pac because it's hard. What Andy is saying, it's hard to put those two together. And that's why you don't have a whole bunch of Pacs running around here. That's like somebody saying Michael Jordan, you can score this way, that way, all that way, and that's why we have a whole bunch of Jordans.
So you're saying that you can't be lyrically gifted with that type of substance? Nas would beg to differ.
You can, but how many guys like that?
Yeah,
I mean, you had Nas, you had Rakim, you had Pac. You don't have 50 of them. That's all time, right?
Right.
Yeah, those rappers they were kind of unique, right? Yeah.
Robin, what do you think? Gucci Mane, either or will suffice, is ahead of Ludacris and Dr. Dre on this list. What you think about
that? You know what it is for, I think, a lot of those down south trap music artists. It's that they fell into a genre that was like uniquely their own, and they got a lot of fans because of that. And I think if you can be looked at as someone who put a certain genre on the map, then you'll get more credit than maybe even what you deserve.
So he's a pioneer of sorts.
I definitely think that.
Mm-hmm. It kind of goes back to what you were saying, Andy. There's a certain contingent within that hip hop community that think Gucci Mane was the man that started it all. And I listen, I go,
You may not. It's okay. Think about this. Let's just say Migos or Takeoff is on this list. So many people will say they rightfully deserve to be there because they created a sound, specifically Takeoff. You know, rest in peace. He created a sound that the Migos took and they pioneered this particular sound for sure.
No doubt, changed hip hop.
So they could end up on that list, whereas some other people are like, not necessarily. They aren't rappers or the best rappers or whatever. So I guess it depends on how you look at it.
But it goes back to what I think Andy was saying. Look, you got to admit, everybody's talking about they're popular. Mm-hmm. You talked about longevity. Can we say that they have longevity yet? You can't say they haven't changed the culture. They changed the culture. They changed the music. Are you a great rapper just because you are influential?
Well, I'm going to put it like this. If with social media, it's almost not an even playing field. That's like saying, oh, LeBron is paying till he's 38, and then you got these guys that paid 30 years ago. They didn't have the same type of trainers, same type of shoes,
That's a good one.
Same type of medical. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you want to take a rapper from the 80s, you want to take LL, you take somebody from the 80s and 90s, and they're still around. With social media, people are TikTok. You can put something on TikTok. I mean, Fleetwood Mac went #1 again because a guy was riding a skateboard drinking some Gatorade. Get out of here with that.
That's all facts.
Yeah, that's
right
not. Yeah,
You're
that's
dropping
not
nuggets right there.
Yeah, come on now.
Because could we make the case if social media was around when Big L was alive, he would be one of the greatest of all time, all the time. But don't nobody know who he is really, except us in the hip hop game.
I wouldn't be surprised if I see Big L later on, you know, somewhere down in this list, though.
I'd love to see him in the top 15. That'd be nice.
But I will also say this, though. Considering the last 15 years or so, the South has been running hip-hop.
Just no doubt.
And Gucci Mane is one of those pioneers, so to speak. So considering the last 15 years, the South has been running things here.
Well, it's about time. I mean, it's only been around like 40, 50 years. I mean, you know, the South, what was the South first hit group in rap was Southern Playalistic. I mean, them dudes changed their whole persona now. So, I mean, we was rapping Ain't No Thing back in the day. We was rocking that. Outkast, right?
That's always been an argument.
Yeah.
Is Atlanta considered the South?
Oh, for sure.
It seems like it's its own category, though. Like when you think ATL, you don't think South. When you think South, you think, you know, Lil Jon and them.
Yes and no. No, I think Atlanta is South.
Scarface?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's what Houston.
South.
Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah,
that's South.
That is South. But you know who has their own sound and is still South? Miami. They have their own sound and it's still South. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't consider ATL, but I hear you though because
Florida is Southern, the most Southern. But it's not the South.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But they was riding Luke. They was different. It was up tempo, fast.
Booty bass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
definitely.
And then you got to understand with music is regional, man. Like you got to understand Chuck Brown was a superstar regionally, and then he come to L.A. and people was like, okay, Chuck Brown was a superstar, man. The go-go music.
I don't know who Chuck Brown is.
Oh my
I'm ashamed
God,
to say.
man, Chuck Brown, man, hit us with some Chuck. Man, Chuck Brown is a movement, man.
I know
DC.
I know Charlie Brown. I love.
No,
Snoopy.
man, Chuck Brown, man, you gotta be DC, man. I just happened to be in DC at the same time as this man memorial service, and it was thousands and thousands of people. The city was shut down. They had billboards. It was crazy.
We'll see if Andy can pull something.
Chuck
You know,
Brown,
he's a magician.
All right. So music is regional.
1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. I will give you number 37, who I think is somebody that should be higher. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. Middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Representative Sheila Jackson Lee wants to criminalize hate speech with the new proposed bill. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas has introduced the Leading Against White Supremacy Act of 2023. This act looks to place criminal charges on people who share hate speech. Congress.gov states that the bill will prevent and prosecute white supremacy-inspired hate crime and conspiracy to commit white supremacy-inspired hate crime and to amend Title 18 U.S. Code to expand the scope of hate crimes. Those engaging in hate speech could still face criminal charges even if they don't act on the threats. This bill further proposes penalties for anyone publishing material advancing white supremacy, white supremacist ideology, or hate speech that vilifies or is otherwise directed against any non-white person or group and such published material. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's it for your K-Black Minute News.
This winter, spread joy, not germs. As soon as you feel symptoms, test it, treat it, you can beat it. COVID medications like the Paxlovid pill can help you test negative sooner. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to find free treatment today. Again, that's 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that when we fight, we win. Community Coalition trains activists and organizers in order to support power building with Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color. Community Coalition works to help transform the social and economic conditions in South LA that foster addiction, crime, violence, and poverty by building a community institution that involves thousands in creating, influencing, and changing public policy. Founded by Karen Bass in 1990, Community Coalition was born as an African American and Latino organization with the goal of turning hopelessness and despair into action. The activism of the Community Coalition's members and community residents has almost solely stimulated economic recovery in South LA for decades, generating billions of dollars by redirecting them to South LA schools and foster care. In addition, Community Coalition offers amazing mind, body, soul resources, advocacy, and policy work, and has a robust and active membership body. To become a member, get a referral, or get support for your nonprofit, visit cocosouthla.org. That's cocosouthla.org, or call 323-750-9087. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is growing at a phenomenal pace, and we need to enlarge our territory. We are seeking smart, creative solution providers to join the KBLA delegation and go higher with us. If you or someone you know is interested in joining our team as a brand manager, go to our website at KBLA1580.com. Tap on employment opportunities and let us hear from you. We're not looking for everybody or just anybody, but you could be that special somebody. Come grow with us. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
I know this song. First of all, it's been sampled in 2,000 hip-hop songs.
Keep what you got until you get what you need,
yeah, man.
You got to give a lot just to get what you need sometimes, y'all.
Brown, Bustin' Loose, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Daniel is right. I mean, that right there, that's legendary, man.
We're talented people, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
No,
How talented are African-American people?
We're magical people, is what I call us.
Man,
We're all of that. All of that and more.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give us scraps, you know. We gonna turn it into soul food. Back when we were enslaved, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no instruments or nothing. We gonna find some instruments on the plantation and make our own gospel. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we get down. Anything you give us, we gonna turn into magic. And the saddest part is the entire society will say, you know what? That looks pretty cool. Can we do that too? And they rob us of it and dilute it the same way they do in hip hop right now. Which brings us back to our list. So we stopped at what? Gucci? Is that where we stopped at? And it turned into a 5-minute conversation. Gucci, for those that just tuned in, we're breaking down the next 10, 40 to 31 of the all-time hip-hop artists from Billboard Magazine and Vibe Magazine are doing a special list. And we are up to number 37. Common. Too low? Maybe
37.
You can make the case that Common is top 25 dead or alive, but you could also make the case that his acting has superseded his hip hop game. You buy that?
Yeah, and let's be real. See, we need to find out what they're basing this on. That's what we need to find out.
Look, Gucci's on the list. It kind of threw everything out the window for me.
Common is known and well known for so many different things. Lyrically, he's okay.
He's nice. Come on.
No, don't get me wrong. He's nice. He's okay. He's not groundbreaking.
No.
That's a fact,
That's
right?
true.
He's just nice with his words. He's nice, but it's his swag more. It's the content, what he's talking about more so. It's the relatability for the ladies. I'm sure it's because he's handsome. Like it could be a number of things, but it's definitely not like lyrical. But we give Common his props because he's not one of the first to do it, but like he's that conscious rap, and we know him from that.
He was my go-to when you would mention socially conscious hip-hop. I would say Common. There's a bunch more now, but back then it was like Common.
Yeah.
Robin, we talked about lyrics. What do you consider lyrical? Is it the rhyme scheme, or is it the content of what they're discussing?
It's both. It's both. It's probably the rhyme scheme a little bit more for me. How well are you able to do it? How well and what are the lyrics you're actually using?
I think some are confused because I know if you listen to Black Thought, you listen to M, you go, them cats got bars. Does Tupac have bars? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, Tupac, but he's more mid.
Okay.
There are levels, right? But he's definitely more mid. It was so much more for Tupac than it was his lyrics. People are going to say he was one of the best, obviously, because his delivery probably, it was offset by that. It was his passion. It was so much more to Tupac that made him who he was than his lyrics. He was definitely mid.
Well said. Daniel? Common.
Common, I love Common, man. Common is conscious. He just carried the torch of what KRS-One and X-Clan and all those guys that was talking about something.
Yeah.
He did a great job of that, by the way.
Okay.
About carrying the torch.
37? Too low, too high?
I can already tell that this list is not...
I told you, Gucci Mane done tore the whole list up. But
this list is probably not conducive to, African-American culture from the grassroots perspective of hip-hop and rap. So
sounds like you're making the assertion that there might be some Caucasians involved in the...
Yeah, and some African-American people who haven't lived in the African-American diaspora, who don't have the background we do.
Dude, I swear. Dude, I said Common was so cool. Common was awesome, dude, I swear.
Yeah.
Common is great. Mimi says Common is great. I just like looking at him. That's my point. Marcus says Common is more a jazz type rapper.
Okay.
So
jazz rapper.
By the way, we could probably cut and paste the conversation we just had about Common and insert it into this one. Number 36, Mos Def.
I really like Mos Def.
Also an MC, also an actor, also, socially conscious.
That's probably kind of low.
Wow.
Yeah, if you just look at the real hip hop heads and people that are really into this, he represents that.
Okay,
like he's the epitome of hip hop.
Wasn't that Kanye that said that he doesn't even know how to rap? Was that Kanye said that?
Yeah.
Kanye said Mos Def never knew how to rap.
It's too many definitions of what rap is. Like Common is and Mos Def, those guys are the epitome of what hip hop stands for. If you look at the message, right? You look at KRS-One and all the stuff that's from the gutter, from the street. That's what Mos Def is doing. That's what Common is doing.
And to Daniel's point, if we took our own, if we rated these artists, we would take so much more into consideration. Because if that's what we're talking about, and it's not just rapping,
right,
your lyrics and rapping how you rap,
right.
Common and Mos Def is nice.
Very nice.
Mos Def is nice. And for that Kanye comment, I don't even know what he's talking about. Like, that's just ridiculous. And that's rude, because Mos Def was one of the first ones to give Kanye some clout when Kanye was just trying to get out there. So, I mean, that's just crazy.
It's funny. If aliens came down to Earth and said, hey, this hip-hop thing, tell us about this hip-hop thing. Who are your best representatives of this hip-hop thing? I think we will be reaching more for the socially conscious MCs like Mos Def. You know, this is what you need to hear.
And it's the reason why he was in the movie and why the movie's based around his song Brown Sugar, because that song is fire. I play that once a week.
So's the movie, by the way.
Fire. Yeah, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
When I listened to Big Daddy Kane.
Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah, that's my number 2, by the way.
You better stop.
Hey, watch out.
Stop
We're
playing,
again.
man.
Stop
Playing.
We'll do it again today.
Danny, come on, man. Come on, man.
Here they
Don't
go
do
again.
that. Don't do that, because that's one person I have met several times.
Can you tell that story?
Oh, my goodness.
That story gonna make me look bad, man. I can't do that one. That's worse than Janet Jackson's story.
Okay, we want to hear it now. 1-800-220-1580. News and traffic right now. We continue on the other side. Danny Morrison Show. Stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Americans could be stuck with even higher credit card and loan payments. This after J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon predicted interest rates will keep rising as the Fed tries to slow inflation. Dimon told CNBC rates could top 5%. And an Ohio police officer shown on video punching a